In the heart of a picturesque countryside stood the majestic Belford Manor, a historic residence adorned with tales of elegance and intrigue. However, its most notorious feature was a seemingly innocuous antique mirror that held a chilling secret. Locals whispered that the mirror bore a curse, one that had haunted the manor for generations. The mirror, an ornate, gilt-framed relic, held an otherworldly allure. It had changed hands through time, each owner falling victim to its ominous enchantment. Legend spoke of ghostly apparitions seen within its glass and whispered of strange, inexplicable occurrences that followed those who dared to gaze into it for too long. The manor's current owner, Mr. Elijah Belford, a reserved man with a penchant for the occult, was particularly fascinated by the mirror. He had inherited the estate from his ancestors and was well aware of the dark rumors surrounding the antique. Elijah, intrigued by the mirror's supposed powers, dedicated his nights to studying ancient texts and forbidden lore in search of its origin and the means to break the curse. One evening, as an eerie mist enveloped the manor, Elijah stood before the mirror, his scholarly curiosity overpowering his apprehension. His reflection appeared almost ethereal, an unsettling distortion in the glass that seemed to defy reality. Driven by a mix of fascination and dread, Elijah reached out tentatively, fingers grazing the mirror's surface. As if responding to his touch, the room darkened, a low, haunting hum resonating in the air. His heart raced as he felt a strange force pulling him closer. Suddenly, the mirror trembled violently, emitting an ominous glow. Elijah tried to pull away, but an invisible grip held him in place. The mirror seemed to suck him into its depths, his body disappearing within its confines. The next morning, the staff discovered the mirror shattered into pieces, its frame scattered across the floor. The once beautiful antique now lay in ruins, and Elijah was nowhere to be found. Panic spread through the manor as a search commenced, but all efforts to locate Elijah proved futile. Weeks passed, and the manor fell into a hushed gloom. Then peculiar happenings began. Faint echoes of Elijah's voice were heard, whispers resonating within the empty halls. A spectral figure, resembling Elijah, was sighted in the mirrors throughout the manor, his form trapped within their glassy confines. The staff, shaken and unnerved, debated the estate's future. Some suggested selling the manor, hoping to rid themselves of the curse, while others believed the mirror needed to be destroyed to break the haunting. In a daring attempt to cleanse the manor, they gathered the shattered pieces of the mirror and set out to burn them. But as the flames engulfed the shards, a bone-chilling wail pierced the night, and a thick, unnatural fog enveloped the estate. In the midst of the chaos, a chilling realization dawned. The mirror hadn't been the source of the curse, it had been containing it. With its destruction, the malevolent force which had imprisoned Elijah within the mirror was released, free to haunt the manor forever. The once quiet whispers turned into haunting screams, the ghostly apparition of Elijah now free to wander the halls, a prisoner of his own making. The unexpected twist revealing that the mirror had been the only thing keeping the curse at bay, and so Belford Manor remained a haunting ground, its halls echoing with the tormented cries of Elijah's ghost, a testament to the unforeseen consequences of tampering with the supernatural, a lesson learned too late. As the spectral manifestation of Elijah roamed the manor's corridors, a palpable sense of dread settled over the staff. Their attempts to leave the estate were thwarted by an inexplicable force, as if the grounds themselves conspired to keep them trapped within. A sense of hopelessness pervaded the once stately halls, the ghostly echoes of Elijah's voice growing louder, its haunting laments echoing through the walls. Doors slammed shut on their own, cold gusts of wind whipped through rooms devoid of life, and whispered secrets seemed to linger in the air. Desperate to appease the restless spirit, the staff turned to an elderly local named Mrs. Withers, known for her knowledge of ancient folklore and mystical remedies. She arrived at the manor armed with arcane knowledge passed down through generations. Mrs. Withers warned of the perilous nature of the curse that now plagued Belford Manor. She explained, her voice trembling with age and foreboding.
The mirror was a vessel. The curse it held was contained within those shattered fragments. Elijah's spirit was bound to it, tethered to the mirror to prevent the curse from consuming the entire estate.
In a solemn ritual, Mrs. Withers implored the staff to gather what remained of the mirror, explaining that they needed to piece it back together to contain the unleashed curse. Reluctantly, they adhered to her guidance, assembling the broken fragments with trembling hands. As the last shard fell into place, an otherworldly calm settled within the manor. The air grew still, the haunting echoes ceased, and the restless energy that had plagued the estate dissipated. But the relief was short-lived. A blood-curdling scream reverberated through the halls, shaking the very foundation of the manor. The spectral form of Elijah materialized, his figure contorted in anguish, trapped within the restored mirror. Mrs. Withers, her voice quivering with solemn resolve, revealed the bitter truth.
The curse was never the mirror itself. It was Elijah's desperate attempt to contain the malevolent force that now holds him captive. Restoring the mirror has only ensnared his spirit within its glassy confines once more.
The staff, filled with a profound sense of remorse, realized that their efforts to appease the curse had inadvertently condemned Elijah to an eternity of torment. The manor, now forever tainted by the tragic mistake, stood as a haunting reminder of the consequences of meddling with forces beyond human understanding. Mrs. Withers, her ancient eyes reflecting a deep sorrow, murmured a warning to the staff before departing.
Leave this place be. Some curses are not meant to be undone. They become a part of the fabric of a place, a dark tapestry woven with the threads of human folly.
Belford Manor remained cloaked in an eerie silence, its halls bearing witness to the unforeseen consequences of their actions. The shattered mirror, now restored, held Elijah's anguished spirit within, a chilling spectacle for anyone who dared to gaze upon its surface. And so, the manor stood as a grim testament to the treacherous nature of curses and the irreversible cost of tampering with forces far beyond mortal comprehension. The haunting whispers of Elijah's ghostly presence lingered within the walls, a warning to any who dared to disturb the delicate balance between the living and the otherworldly.